All right, so first and foremost, to get a better understanding of what I'm talking about, watch my past two videos. The first one is why black boxers are $40 million slaves. I did that a couple years ago. I'll have the link to that video in the description. And watch the video about why Al Haymon is the most powerful black man in sports. Both videos, both links will be in the description to watch both videos. This is for guys who are new to my channel and to get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. All right. So I want to talk about Mayweather versus McGregor. All right. We know I've talked about this before. You know, this particular thing is an event. It's going to be one-sided, and we all know what the outcome is going to be. OK, it basically means that Floyd Mayweather can do what he wants to do. If he wants to go the distance with McGregor, he can. If he wants to break him down and stop McGregor, he can. Either way, this will involve what Mayweather wants to do. But I want to break down as to the real truth behind this fight. Okay. And I'm going to get right to the point. Mayweather has more haters than fans. Facts. He's undefeated, right? This is a black man that has a buku of money. His net worth is what, between $600 and $700 million. Now, this fight right here will put him at the billionaire status in terms of money he has generated throughout his entire career. He's braggadocio. You know, he still does the money phone thing. You know, stacks of money next to his ear. Likes to show off his cars, like to show off his wealth, right? Not only white people hate that, but black people hate that as well. They don't like that kind of success. So he has more haters than fans, which is why people pay top dollar to watch him lose. And I've said this before. They'll pay top dollar to watch this man fold. And what happens when the other side, the mainstream media, try to create and prop up fighters, right, to ultimately destroy Mayweather. Okay. This first started, and I'm talking about on the MMA side. All right. On the MMA side, this first started with Ronda Rousey. This is before McGregor was even in the picture in terms of, you know, him and his popularity. Not until the fight with Aldo is when he catapulted into popularity. But when Ronda Rousey was, you know, dominant in her heyday, they tried to pit Ronda Rousey and Mayweather, right? You had people like Skip Bayless that would say Ronda Rousey would beat, was it Skip Bayless or was it Dana White? Either way, you had people saying that Ronda Rousey would beat Floyd Mayweather in a fight, right? Literally, in a street fight, boxing, they would say Ronda Rousey would beat Floyd Mayweather, right? It's got to the point where mainstream media would, you know, interview Ronda Rousey or ask her questions about Floyd Mayweather, and Ronda Rousey would, you know, dismiss him or try to. I remember one time she tried to play the victim in terms of domestic violence, and she tried to, you know, pin Floyd Mayweather as a domestic violence suspect because of his past, you know, tribulations with his one of his baby mamas, right? Accused of domestic violence, and you know, she accused him of that, and you know, it turned out it was a pot calling the kettle black because she was married or had a relationship at the time with someone that was accused of domestic violence, right? So That was pretty hilarious. I forget the guy's name, but y'all can look it up. She was dating, and I think right now they're actually married or engaged. She's still with the same guy, and they're both former UFC participants. Both got knocked out in their last fights, and they're still together. But he was accused and convicted of domestic violence against his. I'm talking about Ronda Rousey's current relationship with her now fiance or husband or whatever. His relationship with his former wife, he was accused of and convicted of domestic violence. Like I said, pot calling the kettle black. Right? So they tried to build up Ronda Rousey. That failed. Right? And let's circle back to boxing. They tried to build up Pacquiao for years, right? Everybody accused, Mayweather of running from Pacquiao. At the time, Pacquiao was going through divisions, knocking people out left and right. He's an 8-division world champion, right? 8 division. But y'all saw his last fight with Jeff Horn. Couldn't finish the job. Couldn't knock him out. I can't even remember the last time Pacquiao had a knockout. His power obviously diminished, and they try to build him up to stop Mayweather. And y'all know the outcome of that. You got the decavs, the dumb casual ass fans, and the casual fans in general, period. They're trying to say, well, Pacquiao beat Mayweather in slow motion. We've seen those videos. Pacquiao was injured, right? And then he got healed by salt water in the ocean. And, his trainer, Freddie Roach, is saying, well, if Pacquiao wasn't injured, he would beat him. All kinds of just stupid, just really dumb and inadequate excuses as to why Pacquiao lost the fight to Mayweather. So, like I said, they tried to build Pacquiao up, and that failed. Right? Let's go to the manager side of things. We know Al Haymon, right, is an advisor for not only Mayweather, but a stable of fighters. And I broke him down. I talked about him, like I said, reference my video, why Al Haymon is the most powerful black man in sports. They try to remove and try to destroy Al Haymon's reputation, his business acumen, etc. Bob Arum tried to do it. Oscar De La Hoya tried to do it because they tried to sue him. They tried to sue Al Haymon and trying to say that, Al Haymon trying to monopolize boxing, etc., etc. That failed. Right? Let's go to Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya, the reject white supremacist, had racist emails that still has not been questioned by mainstream media. Only within internal boxing circles like the LDBC and other YouTubers and social media have talked about this. But no mainstream media outlet like ESPN or Fox has a question. Showtime, HBO. None of these guys have questioned Oscar De La Hoya of those racist emails talking about Al Haymon, comparing Al Haymon to Adolf Hitler. Right? If y'all don't believe me, go look it up. Google it. Go Google it. It's out there. So you had guys like Oscar De La Hoya, right? A reject white supremacist, cokehead, cross-dresser who tried to character assassinate and, ruin the legacy of Al Haymon. You had that, right? So going back to MMA. So Ronda Rousey didn't work. Pacquiao didn't work. How about this dude, Conor McGregor? He just beat Aldo. Let's build him up. Let's build up this mega fight from one genre, UFC, to another, boxing. But let's put them in a mega match where the best in MMA versus the best in boxing. Right? Let's do this. Let's create this false narrative that Conor McGregor is a dominant force in MMA that wants to box Floyd Mayweather, the best of this generation in pound for pound in boxing, of course, hands down. Let's put a mega match together. Let's create this false narrative that McGregor has knockout power when he boxes. He has knockout power. One hit against Mayweather, Mayweather will fold. Right? This is what Dana White and mainstream media are trying to sell. They're trying to sell this false narrative. Knockout power. He has tremendous power. Mayweather can't take a punch, right? This is what they're trying to sell. And obviously, you know, they're trying to make this fight competitive. They're trying to say this is going to be a toe-to-toe match. We know this is a farce. We know this is a circus. We're still going to watch. We watch train wrecks. We watch car wrecks, right? So we're going to pay to watch this. People complaining about this fight, they're going to watch it because you're liars. You're going to watch it. But, you know, these false narratives that they're trying to do and sell this fight. Knockout power. He's going to knock him out. You had guys like Tyson Fury, this cokehead, junkie, obese dude. McGregor's going to knock out Mayweather in 35 seconds. Okay, great. You know, it's a great way to sell the fight. I get it. They're trying to sell the fight. You know, I couldn't do it. Y'all pay me any kind of money. I could not do that. Yeah, I mean, creating these false narratives. Yeah, McGregor has so much power that when he steps into the ring, he's going to one punch. He's going to knock Mayweather out. Let's you know, forget about logic. Forget about, you know, Mayweather being stylistically the most sound defensive fighter of all time. Right? His connect ratio is second to none. His ability to make people miss and his ability to counter is second to none. Right? He's the master of length. He's the master of understanding where you are in the ring in terms of boxing IQ, range and distance, and controlling it. He's the master at that. That's why this fight is not going to be a fight. It's going to be a one-sided affair, and we already know the outcome. The outcome depends on what Mayweather wants to do. Now, here's the thing. If Mayweather decides to let this fight go 12 rounds, it's still going to be a win for Conor McGregor. So Mayweather has to stop Conor McGregor. It has to be a one-sided stoppage. Now, we know Mayweather, it doesn't have the power to knock anybody out with one punch. He hasn't done that since his pretty boy Floyd days, if you guys are true boxing fans. Right? So he basically what he does, and it's his stage of his career, he's 40 years old. You know, obviously he'll make you miss. And if you go, here's the thing, the game plan for McGregor, and I'm going to talk about his sparring partners in a minute because it's a freaking joke. It's a joke. But his game plan, if your game plan is to knock him out because you got the so-called power, you lost the fight before it started. Now, if your other game plan is to outbox Mayweather, you still lost the fight before it started. How can you outbox someone who is the king of outboxing people, right? So your strategy to outbox Mayweather, fail. Your strategy to knock him out, fail. Your job is just to show up and get your paycheck and leave. That's it. That's really should be your game plan. Really, just show up, get your check, and leave. That's it, man. That's the only chance. That's the only outcome that's guaranteed, is you getting your paycheck and you leaving. That's it. Right? So, about McGregor's sparring partners. Now, I'm not going to play the video because of copyright reasons, but this is footage of McGregor fighting Chris Van Heerden. And the look of this footage right here, I consider this sparring match for McGregor. He's already 0-1 in boxing. Even if you're a novice at the sport, you can look at how McGregor, his foot placement is off. His hands are down low, has no head movement, right? Doesn't understand distance, right? Doesn't understand punch placement. I mean, looks worse than an amateur. Just looks like somebody off the street. So, and this is Chris Van Heerden. When I saw an interview he did with TMZ. He said he fought him or sparred him when he was out of shape, and still did a much better job than McGregor has ever done, right? So this is from last year, 2016. And McGregor is still, obviously still training, and he has a lineup of sparring partners because right now I believe he's either right now still in Ireland or he's making his transition over to the U.S. in Vegas to actually start training in Vegas right now. So he's going to have sparring partners line up. And shout out to Fight Hype. Fight Hype posted a video about the sparring partners that McGregor is set to have, and this is a complete joke. One of his sparring partners has a record of 22 wins and 21 losses. Right? This guy right here actually lost to one of Floyd Mayweather's fighters, Jalen Love. As you can see here, Johnson served as the sparring partner for Manny Pacquiao leading up to his 2015 showdown with Mayweather, a two-fight UFC veteran with a 9-2 MMA record. Inside the boxing ring, he's lost to the likes of Jermell Charlo, Jalen Love, Jesse Hart, Dominic Wade, Sergio Mora, Luis Arias, Joshua Cloudy, and Glenn Tapia. All right. The other fighters that McGregor chose as sparring partners, one of them is a soccer player. And the other guys are just no-name sparring partners with just terrible early records, meaning they're like 5-2 or 6-5, just terrible records, right? So again, this guy lost the fight before he started based off his sparring partners, based off his sparring footage he had against Chris Van Heerden. Like I said, the only thing that he can do is to show up and get his paycheck. That's it. This is going to be another fail that the mainstream media tried to create. Try to build up these damn fighters, right? And try to create this damn false narrative. Oh, he has so much power. He will knock him out one punch. If at the time 38-year-old Mayweather fought Andre Berto couldn't land a punch. Pacquiao couldn't land a clean shot. All right. Canelo Alvarez, and they try to say Canelo Alvarez is not big in terms of his weight. No, this guy walks around as light heavyweight. Matter of fact, he walks around between 180 and 190. Okay. So Canelo can punch, but Canelo can land a punch, can land a shot against Mayweather. If guys like that, and I want to talk about the fights where Mayweather is in his late 30s. Okay. Remember, this is another false narrative people try to create. Well, Mayweather, he's coming off a 2-year layoff. Well, it's the same thing that happened when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, right? He was in jail. 2 years. Came back and completely shut down. It was a 12-0 shutdown when he came back and fought Juan Manuel Marquez. 12-0. Shut him down. Right? So it's the same thing here. The key to this is muscle memory. Conor McGregor does not have not only the amateur background or the experience, but he does not have the muscle memory to understand different sets of movements in boxing that you can do versus MMA. He doesn't have it. You develop that in your amateur background. Trust me, I know. I used to box. Right? And that's very important. Amateur background, when it comes to understanding different movements that you do in boxing, it's extremely important. Extremely important. And so he's not going to understand that. You know, how is he going to deal with, you know, the fight goes on past the 6th round and Mayweather breaks him down with body shots, check hooks, right? Feints. He doesn't know how to react to that. How are you going to handle inside fighting? Right? What's your inside fight game like? It doesn't exist. Right? We saw that to a guy who has plenty of experience, Sergey Kovalev. We saw him, you know, broke down when he fought Andre Ward in the rematch. Couldn't fight on the inside. Right? So that's what it is, family. You know, another great white hope fighter. The mainstream media trying to create. Pacquiao didn't work. Ronda Rousey didn't work. And McGregor is not going to work. Haters want to see Floyd lose, and they'll pay top dollar to do that. Regardless if they know the outcome or not, they still want to see what will happen. The it factor. Right? I mean, you could easily say Floyd Mayweather is the most hated athlete on the planet right now. You could say that. You could easily say that. Most hated. For sure. So. So anyway, family, those are my thoughts on that. Like I said, if you don't like the fight, you're going to watch it anyway. You're a liar. If you say, this fight is garbage, this is going to ruin the legacy of boxing, but you're going to watch the fight. You're a liar. But we know this is going to be a one-sided spectacle fight. We know this. And obviously, McGregor has no shot. Wouldn't land a punch. Wouldn't land a clean shot. Period. So I see a stoppage in this fight. My prediction is this. I see a stoppage around the 8th round. And I see McGregor extremely tired. You know, extremely tired. He's going to look very confused out there, bewildered. Is going to get to a point where McGregor was going to lay up against the ropes. And Mayweather is going to be like, no, I don't want to go against the ropes. Let's go to the center of the ring. And I'm going to outbox you. Because he likes to control the distance and control the range. It's gonna be times like that. That's how bad, in terms of conditioning, McGregor's going to look in those particular rounds. He's going to look confused, bewildered, and I see a stoppage in the 8th round. Right, I see a stoppage in that point. So that's my prediction on that. Those are my thoughts. All right, family. So anyway, leave your comments down below about the fight. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win? And let me know the outcome also in the comments section. All right, family. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at The Black Separatist. Both links will be down below in the description. All right. Until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. The Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.